We have a triangle! Hey guys, welcome back. This is the long-awaited triangle video. Make sure you've seen the previous videos in the series, grab a coffee and let's begin. This step we are creating a pipeline, so we'll need to create a pipeline layout object. In the cleanup, we need to destroy this pipeline layout. In our create graphics pipeline function, there are a few things we need to add, mainly vertex input state and input assembly. Add a viewport and scissor here before we can create the pipeline. I'll finish up the create info for a few other objects. Finally, we can define the create info for the pipeline layout, which will be created using the vk create pipeline layout command, and store it in the pipeline layout object we created at the start. And that covers everything for fixed functions, so I'm going to push it to the repo. Next step is our render pass, so we're going to start off by creating the vk object. We'll create a new function called create render pass, which we'll call in our init Vulkan just before create graphics pipeline. Don't forget to destroy the render pass after the pipeline layout in the cleanup too. I'm just going to quickly explain the vk attachment load operations as well as the vk attachment store operations. First we have the load op load, which preserves the existing contents of this attachment. Then we have load op clear, which clears the values to a constant at the start. And finally for load we have load op don't care, which is existing contents are undefined. Now for store we have two options, the first one being store. Rendered contents will be stored in memory and can be read. And for the second one we also have don't care, which contents of the frame buffer will be undefined after the rendering operation. In our create render pass function, we need an attachment description, attachment reference, and subpass description. And with these, we can generate the render pass create info before creating the render pass itself. That's our render pass done, so we can push the code to tick that off. Now we have a render pass and pipeline layout, it's about time we created the pipeline. As always, destroy the object in the cleanup function. We'll be adding to our create graphics pipeline function. Create a vk graphics pipeline create info. This is where we'll reference the other create infos. And finally, call vk create graphics pipeline, which will store in m graphics pipeline, the object we created previously. Don't forget to compare the return to VK success and don't destroy our shader modules until after. Still an empty window, but it's working and that's another step done. We are almost there. Next step is frame buffers, so start off by creating a vector called swapChain framebuffer. Of course we're going to need a create function, and in the cleanup loop through the vector and destroy each frame buffer. In our create function, start by resizing the vector and then loop through and fill the vector with frame buffer objects. The create info will be the same for all of them as they will share the same render pass and extent. The image view attachment will be different for each though. Now run the program and the frame buffers should be done. Next step is our command pool. Create a command pool and buffer for our application. Create a function for initializing both in our init Vulkan and then destroy the command pool in the cleanup. Remove the viewport and scissor from the create graphics pipeline because we're going to add it to a record command buffer function in our final step. In our create command pool, find the Q family indices because we need to access the graphics family index for our pool info. In our create command buffer, set the command pool and allocate the command buffer. Run, empty window, push code, you know the drill. Now we need two semaphores, one for image available and one for render finished, as well as an in-flight fence. New function to create these sync objects. My dumbass spelled objects wrong, so don't do that. New function in the main loop too, called drawFrame, which is quite important. Destroy the fence and semaphores in the cleanup. In create render pass, set the dependency and render pass info. New function for create sync objects, create info for the semaphores and fences. Then create all of these and make sure they all return VK success. Now we're going to draw the frame. Wait for the fence and then reset it. Acquire our next image. Reset the command buffer. Record the command buffer, which is a function I forgot to create, so we'll do that in a sec. Submit the queue. We'll create the record command buffer function. This is where we moved our viewport and scissor as I mentioned in the last step. And now if we run it, the moment we've all been waiting for, 926 lines of code, and we have not a blank window, but a triangle. This is far from the end of the road, but it's the first real progress we've actually seen. There's still a lot we need to do, like recreate the swap chain for window resizing and fix the warning from a debug messenger. Join the Discord or leave a comment for suggestions. Follow me on X, Insta, Patreon, Coffee, you know the drill. I'm out of pretzels. Leave a like if you enjoyed, a dislike if you didn't. Thank you all for watching, I appreciate it. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!